Hey everybody, I'm Tom.
Hi, I'm Z.
And today we're doing a Q&A. I was about to look at my Apple Watch broke, man.
Bam.
Well, I was looking at the date, actually. It's the 26th, I should know that, the day after Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
We had Christmas yesterday, and everyone came over. And it was your first time playing the...
Doing a white elephant?
White elephant, or Yankee swap, they're called.
Okay.
So, you'd never done one of those before. Jason had never even heard of it before. He was just like...
Well, to be fair, he hadn't heard of a fidget spinner till about 3 months ago, so...
Yeah, but he was like he was wowed by the whole idea. He said they're trying to game the system.
Yeah, of course. He's trying to win at a white elephant. Because it's Jason.
The most popular gift was that thing called?
A Porg window. Like you stick it to the inside of your car window.
Yeah.
You know, and you feel like you're riding the Millennium Falcon, I guess.
And I got, what's this thing called again?
That's a pop socket.
A pop socket is what I got, and Jason got Unicorn Vomit. That was the one I put in.
Sounds much worse when you say it
it's
like
that.
It
looks like they're basically the...
It's like Twizzler strings or something, right? Like, what is that called? A pull and peel?
Yeah. So anyhow, yeah, we had a lot of fun. It was 16 entries when we included. I let the teenage kids, the little kids, they start crying over that stuff, you know.
Yeah.
They get like something they really like, and you're like, I will take that, and then you feel like a jerk. The kid.
No, that's no good. Can't do
All right.
that.
So, we're going to get to your questions. If you have questions, ask them here. Realize we don't answer every question. And if you ask questions over and over, that does not mean it will suddenly get answered. I haven't seen the new Doctor Who at all. I know it came out yesterday, but it comes out on BBC. And then it will get to the internet. I guess I could go download it. It's probably on iTunes, but
oh, okay.
I usually wait.
Yeah, I don't follow Doctor Who, so I'm way behind. I've only ever seen 2 or 3 episodes. I wasn't that captivated by it.
I don't know if you'd like it or not. The long stories are good, and there's some really amazing episodes. Like, if you ever get a chance, just watch the Blink episode. You don't even need to...
Yeah, right. I've heard about it enough that I think I get it, and I'm sure I'd enjoy it, but I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of it. It gets crazy attention, though, right?
It's died down a little, though, right?
I don't know. Every time I go to a convention, there's just droves of people wearing the shirts or doing...
Or dressed
like
up as Doctor Who.
Or like as a phone booth, or, you know, there's always...
That's true. That phone booth clothing line is doing really well.
Yeah.
A lot of phone booth dresses, and I bought my wife a phone booth bathrobe, you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay. There you go. See?
How'd the shrimp and sausage turn out? It was delicious.
It was indeed delicious.
And happily, we did not eat all of it.
Not yet.
What game would you recommend to a group of 4 people who never met each other until the game is played? Diplomacy.
Witness, where you have to whisper in each other's ears.
Oh yeah, that wouldn't be awkward at all.
He had a big mustache. What? Listen.
We could easily make a top 10 list of games not to play with somebody.
No, I don't know. Pick an icebreaker game.
Or pick a Euro game, and the people don't care. They sit down, all right, we're going to play this heavier Euro. I mean, it all depends on the people.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're trying to get to know those people, then a nice icebreaker game, something with a... I mean, a good one is the new one that came out from CGE. It's called That's a Question. It's a good one. You're going to get to hear what people would answer in just some, you know, silly, preposterous
That's true
question.
when you're guessing about those, right.
Mm-hmm. So that would work.
I don't normally answer these questions, but we're going to answer this one just now. Only this one. When is the Fallout review coming, and who is reviewing it? I don't know. We're going to get to it. It's just that remember, one of our biggest clogs at the Dice Tower is just actually getting games played.
Yeah.
The Fallout thing could have been done a while ago, and the reason it hasn't been done a while ago is because we figured that all of us would be interested in it.
Yeah.
So getting all of us to play a longer game like that is not as easy to do.
Right.
It's possible. I mean, it will be done within the next month. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's a big enough game, so you'll see it.
Yeah, it's just there's too many, because this is a good problem to have, but there's a lot of games that take a lot of time lately. One we've been doing is Legacy of Dragonholt, and that's also a time investment that's considerable.
Thor is Z's #1 movie of the year, and Tom, being a big fan of Marvel movies and comics, what was your reaction to the Infinity War trailer?
I had seen, I got to sneak a peek at the original one that got leaked. Don't anyone tell Marvel, please. Before they pulled it from everywhere, I peeked at it, and so I was really excited to see the new one, if it was the exact same thing or a recut trailer. And it is different. There's a couple of shots that are the same, but it is a different trailer, and I'm psyched, man. These movies just...
I am too.
They keep making these movies, and even the ones that don't look good in the trailer end up being really good movies. So
I agree, because I remember seeing the trailer for Doctor Strange, and I was like,
yeah, and Ant-Man. I saw the Ant-Man trailer, and I was thinking, I don't know, they've been good.
The problem is when the trailer is amazing, like the Black Panther trailer is just like,
yeah,
woo! But I mean, that movie's got to live up to that now.
Yeah, that's true. I'm excited for it. Next year's going to be a good one for movies, I think. Apparently, one of the big movies this year, and now I'm thinking about this, is Lady Bird. Was one of the big nominees for a bunch of stuff, or will be.
What's Lady Bird?
It's a story. It's like a coming-of-age kind of story, but I just saw it just last night. I was going through my Apple TV, and I saw the trailers app, put it on there, and Lady Bird was on there, the trailer. So I saw that. My goodness, does that look boring. I'm sorry. I mean, it's giving me flashbacks to like The English Patient. And the only thing I mean by that is that movie won a bajillion Academy Awards. So I was really psyched. And I still used to care a lot about that stuff. I rented the movie, or maybe I even bought it on VHS or something. It's been a while. And I saw it, and I hate that movie. The English Patient is a horrible film. Have you seen it?
No, but I don't normally watch these. Like,
they're so bad. It's so slow and lame and just not good. I like dramas, but that's a bad one, I think.
And a really weird movie I saw last night, I saw Colossal. Have you seen that one? Colossal. It's the trailer where Anne Hathaway is in it, and there's a giant monster that goes to Tokyo. It's on Hulu.
It is on there?
Yeah, it's on
Hulu. See the whole movie?
I was in Hulu, and I was like, look at their movie category, because it usually sucks.
Yeah, it's rough.
And I was like, all right, so I watched it. It's really...
I heard it was kind of a weird movie, right?
It's weird and dark at points, like
okay,
pretty
that's
dark.
Cool. I got to check that one out.
You might like it.
I saw Bright.
Oh, you saw it? What'd you think?
Yeah, I liked it. I
thought it was too raw for me. Like,
you mean like too gritty, right?
Like, I'm not so mamby-pamby that I'm like, no cursing in my movies. But that was kind of like a little bit of dialogue to go with the cursing.
Yeah. No, I liked it. It made me think of all those hard-nosed cop movies that I think are good, like Narc or Dark Blue. Both of those are good, hard-hitting cop films.
I just wish they had explored things. Like I told you, remember I said there's like, in that one scene there's like the centaur walking. And you're like, oh, that's cool. And they never mention it, never get to it.
Yeah, the fantasy is just
they
a
never
little
explain
film. There's a little film of fantasy over it, really. That's it.
Yeah, but why are you allowed to kill fairies? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a throwaway moment anyway, that whole fairy thing.
It was like made for the trailer?
Yeah,
almost.
Yeah.
All right.
I enjoyed it, though. I don't know why it's getting all the hate it's getting.
Tom, since you at one point considered replaying Zulkin, since you started liking games from those designers, which I still mean to do, have you considered giving Village another try since the brands are on a roll? I liked Village okay. I mean, I didn't think it was awful, but it has not soured on me. And just because I like a designer doesn't mean I like everything they do.
Right.
The brands really are on a roll for me. If they make something, I'm on it.
They make games of all types. That's the thing. So, like, for example, for me, I like their lighter fare. I like their escape room stuff. But I might not necessarily like their Euro games. They really are extremely versatile. It's amazing. They make some of the most diverse games out there. I could show you 2 games from them, and if I didn't tell you they're from the same designing team, you wouldn't guess it. I like that very much. They're great. Yeah.
Do you typically print out user-created player aids if the game doesn't provide them? Do you have that in any of your games? Like
I have before, if it's a complex game. Like I know I did it for, I know I have player aids in the Others box, because it's a lot. And it's nice to be able to sort of easily get up to speed again if I haven't played in a while. And I can hand them to someone and they can reference those. I normally don't. I do wish more games did do that, though. And again, I will if it really feels necessary, but normally I don't. There's some great stuff out there, though. I mean, there's some user-created aids and guides for teaching and things like that that I think are fantastic. Definitely look into that. The files section at BGG, for example, is going to have a lot of good stuff for you.
Yeah, I print them out occasionally. I know I did Twilight Imperium 3 because the tech tree I printed that out, but the problem is they made that obsolete with the 4th one.
Right.
There's occasional things that I will print out things. There's a couple that I planned, like Lorenzo Magnifico with the new expansion, has all the leaders on 2 separate things. That's what I really hate, right? Small World's a good example of this. Okay, so Small World, you have all your powers. You're like, what does that power do exactly? You look at this, but then they add in an expansion, so you look at another sheet, and if you're playing with all the expansions, you're like, hang on, which expansion was that sheet in?
Oh, yeah.
So I like when they're all in one.
Yeah, that's a big one. For me, the one thing I will print out and throw in the box is if a game puts out a new scenario or a new playable character on just like online, just a PDF or something, I will print that out and put it in the box. I even laminated the other night. I went ahead and laminated a...
You said you don't use your laminator anymore.
I did the other day, just a few days ago. I laminated an extra character that they put out some time ago, but I'd never done it before, for Legends of Andor. I printed that out, laminated that, cut it out, I put it in the box. So, yeah, it's cool.
All right. Have you ever played Jenga using a pile of games?
No.
Yes, but that's not actual playing a Jenga. But it's like, can I pull this out and keep this pile intact?
No,
I've done that before.
I have not done that. I don't think I want to be brave enough to do that.
We don't celebrate Boxing Day in America.
Nope.
This is a question for you because they asked it to me in a previous one.
Yeah.
What long gone publisher are you saddest that's gone because of the potential you saw in them?
Probably Uberplay.
Oh, that's true. Uberplay is a good answer to that. Or even Simply Fun, which was an offshoot of Uberplay.
Face to Face.
But Face to Face is essentially still around in the form of Eagle Griffin. Eagle Griffin bought all the rights to the Face to Face games.
I don't know. Again, we're talking about potential, right? If they eventually became something else, then fine, that's okay. But definitely Uberplay. And again, it's not that they necessarily would be doing something different than everybody else right now. But back then, when they were still around, the stuff they were printing was high quality. They were good games. They were well manufactured. That's all I mean. Who knows where they'd be now if they were still around. But those are some of the ones I still have games from, and I do think, man, what happened to this company? You know. What did you say when you were asked?
I couldn't think of one really, because most companies that go out of business, I'm not that sad. There's companies that take their place.
Yeah.
I would have said the old Avalon, not the new Avalon Hill, not the new Avalon.
Like Hasbro Avalon, like Wizards of the Coast Avalon Hill?
No. Pre-Wizards of the Coast, when they were just Avalon Hill.
Okay.
And that's when they came out with the Stratego Legends, and they came out with Star Wars Queen's Gambit and all that stuff. And then...
And they got acquired.
They got acquired by Wizards of the Coast.
Nexus Ops and
well,
Vegas
no, it was
Showdown
before
and all
Nexus
that.
Ops. It was...
Yeah, you're talking about before that.
No, I'm including Nexus Ops in that mix. It was like
okay.
It was like the like a 6-year period there between '99 and 2005.
Yeah, that's when Cosmic Encounter came out from them.
Yeah, that's true. I really like that.
The bad Cosmic Encounter.
I like that Cosmic. I would have loved it if they had expansions.
I know. It only played 4 people. That's one of the big deals. One of the big issues a lot of people had with it.
Jen says, do you know why Russian Railroads hasn't been reprinted? And the simple answer for that is that it didn't sell enough.
Right.
People don't realize how much a game has to sell to be reprinted. If a game, and I know this is a lot of stuff I really know this stuff for various reasons. Let's say a game sells 10,000 copies. That's awesome, and it's done. Most games that get printed are done. If you're like, see a game that you like, well, let's list some hot games like Gaia Project and.
You mean hot or pop? Like
popular games like right now, Gaia Project.
Okay,
sure. Terraforming Mars.
Sure.
There are some games that are so hot, like Terraforming Mars is a good example. They will make a second, third, fourth print run. But most games are like, oh, that's a popular game. So Russian Railroads is a good example of this, I'm guessing. I don't know the exact numbers in that case, but they will make a certain number of copies and people buy them and it's popular, but there still exists a couple thousand of those copies and they'll continue selling those until eventually the game goes out of print. And unless there's a huge demand, they're not going to print another 5,000, 10,000 copies.
Yeah, the thing I keep coming back to when someone invariably asks in an email or something, because one person, 10 people, 50 people are willing to buy a copy at $200 doesn't mean they can sell another 5,000 at regular prices. But again, when he says demand, we don't mean that you can go online and look up a copy and see that it sells for twice what it lists for. That just means someone wants it for that much. Not that there might not be that demand there. There might just be a couple of people that missed it and are willing to shell out that price for it, you know. So, yeah, seeing a game go up in price does not guarantee demand and a reprint.
And there's so many games that are coming out that are really good. And whenever I go anywhere, my game group, cruise, conventions and stuff, I see people playing the new stuff. And the really, really popular stuff. Like Scythe, we still see people playing Scythe. We still see people playing, you know, some of these really, Terraforming Mars, for example. But I don't see people playing Russian Railroads, for example.
Yeah.
It just, I never see people playing that. And so there are some games, and we call them evergreens, that sell consistently over and over and over. But there's like maybe 5 of those a year. And there's not many.
Yeah.
All right, Z, this person is guessing that your character for D&D on Friday is going to be Warlock or Wizard.
No, I'm not much of a magic user character. I like the brutes. I go with that. Mainly because I don't like, I like the complexity to be pretty low. Just let me swing my axe and kill some dudes, and I don't want to have to juggle a bunch of different spells and stuff. That's how I do it whenever I play role-playing games on a console. I usually, not always, especially if they simplify how easy it is to be a spellcaster, but usually I just beef up and go grab a big stick and beat bad guys. So what am I? I don't remember.
You're a barbarian.
A half-orc barbarian?
Half-orc barbarian. I was just looking at the stats.
Yeah.
I'm playing the wizard user. I've never played a magic user, so I hope that I'm going to blow this.
Are you usually the brute?
No, I'm usually either a cleric.
Or like, oh, okay.
Or I'll play the dungeon master, like almost always.
Yeah.
I'm not used to being not the dungeon master, so that really throws me off.
Well, the only time I've ever played an RPG before now was Pathfinder, and I played, I believe, also a half-orc, but he was a bard. And I remember my GM was like, huh, what? Like, all right, whatever. I don't know anything about this
He
stuff.
really got into the music.
And I had, like my character had this, he had a stringed instrument. No. He had a wind instrument that he would play and charm the creatures and stuff. And then once he got close enough to them, he would then grab that thing because it had an axe on the end of it and slay some beasties. And I thought that was funny.
I feel like that would really mess with the balance of the flute. Having played something, having a heavy weight on one end would throw you off. You'd have to have a heavy weight at the other end, like just some sort of heavy ball over there. To
balance, like Mjolnir.
All right. Daniel says, can you sell me your copy of Forenzy? I can't find that bugger anywhere. This has always boggled my mind, Forenzy. It's a great game.
Oh, yeah.
I'm always mentioning that. I think that's a ridiculous question. But I'm surprised how many people ask this. Like, I'll review a game, someone will email me and be like, you didn't seem to like that game, so I'll just take it off your hands. First of all, it just seems like an odd thing to me. Like, if I saw someone, like if a movie critic, or I mean anyone, it just seems like an odd question to ask. But it's so much work to send someone a game.
Yeah, logistically, it's a nightmare.
It really is. And it's not like you're doing that person a favor. We tend to get rid of them at Dice Tower Con, and even that,
it's logistically
we've been talking. It's
still
logistical,
difficult.
like trying to figure out how to work that.
At least it's all at the same time. That's what makes it slightly easier. But yeah, having to piecemeal these games out would be nightmarish. It would definitely cut into our Fallout review time.
Has he seen the movie The Thing? Tom said he was too chicken to watch it.
Yeah, I've seen The Thing. Gosh, I was a kid when I saw it. I saw that movie in Cuba, so I know I was younger than 10.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I'm not watching that. How would you characterize your thoughts on relationship with Punchboard Media? Well, I don't know that we have any kind of relationship with them. I know they're another media network of board gaming things. There's a lot of podcasts and blogs and stuff in it, and that is my thoughts on a relationship with them. They're another media network. I have never really met anyone from them. And we talked like, they said, hey, I'm from Punchboard Media. I know one of the guys who does a show for them was on the Dice Tower audio show for a while. Gumbo, board game Gumbo. He was on the Dice Tower. But that is really the extent of it.
Cool.
Nothing bad or good, just nothing at all, really.
Yeah, no familiar. I don't know who they are.
What was your favorite thing you got for Christmas? This hat? Maybe?
I like that hat.
Oh, also the life hack calendar.
Oh, yeah, I gave him a one-a-day calendar with little life hacks on each day. I got a poster that I liked. I put it up in my place. I like that. Kind of a tongue-in-cheek, one of those fake period posters, like World War II, fake, but fake, about tentacles rising from the ocean and like grabbing the warships.
Who got you that?
A friend of mine sent it to me in the mail.
Wow, they must have known you pretty well then.
Yeah, so I like that. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I didn't really get that much stuff, but I liked that very much. I like that poster.
What time will the RPG live play begin on Friday? I think we have it set to go at 9:30.
Yep.
We're going to go 9:30 to noon, then take an hour and a half for lunch, I think. Or maybe we're going to 12:30, I forget.
Well, the schedule says 9:30 to 1, but I don't know if that's just not, that's what our internal schedule says.
Then what did I say the second one started at?
It's not on there yet.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll post them soon. We're taking a lunch break in the middle because we're taking a lunch break in the middle.
Yep.
Because if we eat on camera, people will be like, you pigs.
are all unhealthy.
Yeah. Catan is sold out at Target nationwide and online. Really?
Okay.
I've never heard of Catan being sold out.
They're between prints, I guess. I don't know.
What's the biggest flaw of Dice Masters? Probably that it's collectible.
I think it would be that they package the dice and the cards in the same baggie with no regard for the cards getting all mangled in there by dice.
They don't get that mangled.
I don't like that they come bent. How about that?
I unbend them.
And I rebend them.
Have you considered using the TV behind you more? Using stock pics during reviews, vid clips, or your plays? Yes, we have considered that. In fact, I made this background. Now, this background is not made for this, but I made it. What did I make this for? We were reviewing, was it?
Some farming game, I don't know.
Something in England. Oh, no, this was for when we played the Column of Fire or whatever, the new game. Right.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, stock footage to put on there. We sure could do that, but then you would see like 3 less videos a day. Because putting these together is a lot of extra time. So my goal is to increase that side of things, and eventually we'll have someone who that's one of their things that they do is they build those, but it does take a lot of time. So I'm building some generic ones that we can use in a lot of things. What Marvel crossover event would you like to see now that Fantastic Four and X-Men are back in the Marvel comic universe? Well, if I could have anything, I would be like, could you delay Infinity War a year? Because it'd be so great to see Thanos come, be ready, and everyone's down, and then Wolverine shows up.
I'm the best there is at what I do.
That would blow people's mind. That would be like, that'd be Darth Vader, I'm your father moment.
Wait, what?
Yeah, shut up, dude. That would be my...
They could always do that in the second one, right? I mean, there's another Avengers movie coming out that's maybe a pseudo-sequel to Infinity War.
Yeah, but here's the deal, though. They would have to... First, they would have to establish the X-Men. Like, why have they not been around for this major event?
And they really know how to take care of it with that, so I would hate for them to rush it. To be honest, take your time with it. I'd rather they take their time than pull a DC.
Fantastic Four, I'd like to see Galactus, and because that's their big thing. Or actually Doctor Doom. I want to see a good Doctor Doom, and maybe the Avengers.
Just seems so lame to me. I don't know what it is. I think the Fantastic Four are all right. They're not my favorite, but they're all right. But man, their bad guy, their main nemesis, is so lame.
I don't know.
Don't get into like Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom is just, I don't know.
All right. You can kill fairies because they're a nuisance like mosquitoes, thousands of them. This is talking about Bright. But they complained about a single fairy in the beginning of that movie. They're like, there is a fairy. Mosquitoes, you're just like, if a single mosquito, I don't know.
I don't know. It's fine, again, but it was kind of a throwaway moment. I think I agree that I heard some people say that it should have been an 8-episode miniseries. I agree, 100%. That would have been a fantastic miniseries.
That way they could have actually gone and
You can dig a little deep.
like taken one of the storylines and said, okay, I just felt like there was a lot of little storylines. We're not going to spoil anything,
so don't worry if you haven't seen it.
No, yeah.
Definitely check it out if you already have Netflix. I wouldn't necessarily sign up for Netflix to see it.
I wouldn't watch it with your kids.
Well, yeah.
Dude, if you haven't signed up for Netflix by now, there's a lot of content, though. Netflix is totally worth it.
I'm saying I wouldn't get it for just Bright if they haven't signed up yet. I mean, definitely, if you're a big Adam Sandler fan, for sure, avoid Netflix.
Is it tabletop purple? Is that just the lighting? It is
It's
purple.
My shirt is also a shade of purple. Kind of like a... What is this color?
Could I do a retrospective on 2016, updating my top 10? That's true. Like we should probably at some point. Maybe that's like something we could all each do individually.
What does that mean?
Go back to 2016. Like we did our top 10 at the end of the year.
Yep.
And then just say this is what it is now, because we had a chance to play more games from 2016. It's probably different. And if not, you'd be like, it's the same. Video over.
Maybe. That could be interesting.
Do you need a passport to go on the Dice Tower cruise, or would an enhanced license suffice? That's a question for Jason. I know that you can get away with a license and a birth certificate, and you may not be able to get out at some of the ports. Like you may have to sit on the ship the whole time, possibly. But that's not an awful experience.
That's what I did. It's awesome.
Do we actually watch TV in the big screen behind us? I've watched Netflix on it a few times. Yeah, but not like when I drop all the components and I'm sorting them out. I might do it sometimes.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Why wasn't Punisher in your top 10 pop culture things?
Haven't seen it.
There you go. Do you prefer numbers or pips on your 6-sided dice?
Depends what it's for.
Really? Like, give me. I want to say pips. I'm trying to think where would you want numbers?
I'll give you an example that is perfect because I was just thinking about it. The new Kingsburg.
I'd rather it be pips.
I'd rather it be numbers.
Why? Because you're putting a 2 on a 2?
Yeah. Because it's numbers on out there. I don't know. I just... Like if I'm comparing, for example, if you're supposed to roll 2 dice and take the difference and do something with it, I'd rather have pips. It's kind of a goofy corner case. I mean, it really doesn't matter that much. Sure. Yeah.
I think pips look better.
Mm-hmm.
But that's very much I wouldn't like die on that hill.
If I'm rolling a bunch of dice, here's another one. If I'm rolling a bunch of dice and the 6-sided one has pips, but all the other ones have numbers as they tend to do, like a 10-sided, a 4-sided pyramid, then I want numbers on the 6-sided as well, because that's just annoying.
I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it's part of a set of dice, you definitely want numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Because it like bothers your OCD thing.
Yeah, it's just like, come on, make them all the same.
Are we going to do our top 10 disappointments for 2017? Not really. Like I said, I just feel like I might mention them as time goes by, but there's no reason I think to like dwell on the negative.
We do reviews for games that are sometimes negative. If we don't like the game, that's enough.
Do you prefer the numbers on a D4 to be at the base or at the top?
I want to be at the top, facing correctly, though.
Like upside down, so when you look, you...
No, the top, but numbers facing, like, I don't know, it's a weird thing, but no, I know exactly what they're talking about. And
just get rid of D4s and use 12s or something that have 1 through 4 on each side. That's a much better choice.
That would be cool, too.
They make them.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, I like that better, never mind. But definitely for me, the number at the top of the pyramid, not the base, that's annoying.
Are you going to give a second chance to Netrunner?
Maybe.
We got the new set in. What happened to the new set? Did you take it?
Yeah, I have it.
Yeah, so then that's
it's reworked. I mean, I had Netrunner. I used to own it. I got some of the first cycle stuff, some of the packs. Maybe even the second cycle. I forget. I eventually just couldn't find anyone to play with. Didn't really, when moved on to other LCGs and so on and got rid of it. The new one is reworked, and it incorporates some of the cards from the original core set and some of the cards from the original first and second full cycle.
Wonder if they
They took
explain
like
the game better.
best of the world, best of all, I guess. I don't know how they did it, but that's neat because if I did want to get any more content for it, I could just start at the 3rd cycle, and I'm technically not skipping anything.
Oh, that's interesting.
So, yeah, I'm going to try it again. I cracked it open, looked through the cards again, kind of refresh my mind on how it all works. I'll give it another shot. I did like the game, though. Don't get me wrong. I didn't hate Netrunner. I liked it. I thought some of the terminology was a little heavy-handed, but I liked the game overall.
Is there a drawback to laminating LCG cards, or should I just sleeve?
Oh, gosh, yeah. No, don't do that.
Not. That's like a public service announcement. Do not laminate your cards. It might sound good if it's a single card. It's
Or
a
like
one-card deck.
It's an aid sheet or something. That's fine.
Perfectly
mate,
fine.
Not a deck. Not if you got to shuffle them. Do not do
There's
that.
no way you try as you want, you will not be able to make them feel like they are all on the same deck.
And there's no backsies with that stuff either.
That's true. Lamination is forever. Wow.
Like a diamond.
Would you recommend Pandemic Legacy Season 2 as a 2-player only group? I would.
I guess.
It was fun. With 3, I don't see why it
I
wouldn't be
haven't
fun
played
with
with
2.
2, but I assume it's not that big a deal. I did hear somebody talk about how, the game is not balanced with 2 or it's too difficult or something.
Justin
it's fine.
Jacobson is going to be DMing our game. He's the head of Restoration Games. He's in our game group, our extended game group anyway. So he offered to do it, so we said yes.
I'm looking forward to trying out my second role-playing game experience ever.
Yeah, like I said, it's been a really long time since I've not, and the last time I played, I was the Dungeon
You've
Master.
done it more than me, I assume. I haven't done it much at all.
Is Sam playing a dwarf fighter? He's definitely playing a dwarf.
He has to. It's like basically in his contract at this point.
What is he playing as? I don't remember what his... He's playing as a dwarf something. It's not a barbarian, because you're the barbarian.
Yeah.
Was he like a paladin?
Maybe.
I don't know that I need to be asking this question. I actually have his file saved here on my computer. We'll pull it up and look.
We'll tell you anything you want to know about Sam Healy. His whole file.
Let's see, where is it?
This is, we made characters is what Tom's looking up. We made characters.
I download
online,
a lot of...
and we, filled in all the... They had to really walk me through it because I had no idea what...
It says, oh, he's a ranger, I remember now.
A ranger, okay.
As soon as I saw the name was Iron Bow, I was like, that's right. He said he was going to be a ranger. I've never seen a dwarf ranger before, so that's
Does
cool.
that mean he's like, he's a ranged fighter? Is that basically what that is?
Yeah, they're more like, they're like a tracker. They're like Aragorn from when you first meet him.
Okay.
All right. Hey, we're only 14 minutes behind. Okay, let's see here. Would you recommend Time Story at 2 players?
No. No, that I wouldn't do.
I would do it, I guess. With Time Story, you control 3 characters, though. And some people don't like that. You don't like that, right? I don't mind it.
I don't mind it sometimes. I have gotten a little bit better about it. But not for a game like Time Stories where some person's at the table finding something out and having to explain it to the others is part of the fun. No, I wouldn't. I've tried. I wouldn't.
Speaking of games that deserve another print run, why did Dice Tower never review Clockwork Wars? Well, simple. I don't think we ever got it, did we? And the fact is, we can't review everything. We literally, right now, in our game room, I mean, we're reviewing more games than anyone else, for sure. And we review a ton a week. I'd say between us all, we review 15 to 20 games a week. That's a lot. That's like 1,000 games a year. And we review as many as we can, but in the room right now, there's what, a good 150 games or so? And we're like, okay, we're getting there, but the palette from Essen hasn't showed up yet. And that is another 200 games. It's just, after a while, we have to sit there and go, this isn't going to ever get played.
Yeah. We just have to.
In fact, we just did that right before Essen.
Right.
And 100 games went out the door.
Now, sometimes we do send those games to other reviewers in our network because it's, just because if we're able to, we'll do that. Send them to other reviewers in our network because we do want to, someone gave us a review copy with the promise that we wouldn't, necessarily review it because we can't.
I do say that very clearly now.
But if we can, then we want to make sure someone gets to play it and look at it and put a review up. And if it's one of our contributors, then great, because we've been able to pass that on.
Right, I have boxes getting ready to be sent to all my contributors.
But even with that as a pressure valve, we still sometimes just cannot do some.
Could you explain the upcoming Dice Tower Kickstarter? Says Jorge. I'm new and want to help, but I'm not sure what it is. I'm glad you asked. Dice Tower Kickstarter is a fundraiser we raise. We run every year. We run it in the month of January. Think of it very similar to, if you've ever seen PBS, one of their pledge drives or other things. That's basically what it is. And in this, we say there's a certain goal that we need to get so that we can run the Dice Tower and pay everybody and get equipment and things like that. And then you donate towards that end. And then there's different levels, and if you donate at a specific level, you will get a gift. The gift is definitely not worth the amount that you are donating for because it's a gift, and we're also trying not to go broke doing this. Right. So there's going to be a variety of things from custom dice towers to custom dice to promos for different games to bigger things like, hey, I want to play a game with Z at UK Games Expo or whatever, stuff like that. So, in fact, as soon as we're done here, I'm going back to work on that.
But yeah, the idea is simply that, to keep us going and not that we're running a store. We're not selling these things. You're getting them as a thank you for your donation to us. Just like playing with me isn't worth whatever you end up paying for that, and that's always something that I assume you do too. I struggle with a little bit, because it's like, well, I feel kind of bad, But I know that it's not. You did not pay that money to just play with me. You are helping us keep going.
Right.
So it's, we need all the help we can get from you guys. So we appreciate it.
Any thoughts on Derek's bloopers? Embarrassed by singing, etc.? I
don't think I saw the whole thing yet.
Well, no, he showed us. He skimmed through. That was the one that he did with that. Yeah. I'm not normally upset about these. First of all, I'm not really that embarrassed by them. I mean, if we were super embarrassed and didn't want anyone to see it, it wouldn't show up in the video.
No.
Right? I have that authority to just cut stuff. I don't know. I think stuff like that's funny. I mean, in the video itself, sometimes it could come off as unprofessional, like, oh, you sneeze in the middle of the video. Come on. But in a blooper video, that's funny, I guess. Yeah. I don't mind too much.
I don't care about that stuff. I'm a goof anyway. I really don't care if I look silly.
What are our thoughts on a new set for Magic the Gathering? We were just talking about this today. We haven't.
Oh, well, here's a question for them, though. Are they talking about Ixalan, which I think is how you say that, or the unset? Oh, they came up with another one of those.
They say unset. What's unset? Oh, is this another one of those unglued things?
Yeah. They just came out with one. They had unglued, unhinged. They just came out with oh gosh, I was just looking at it.
Wait, is it already out in stores?
Yeah.
I'm buying some.
They have like 3.
I'm gonna buy it. I think they're hilarious.
3 booster drafts. Like you can get 3 boosters, and I get 3 boosters, and we can draft and play.
Just from the unset?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, I'm gonna buy some tonight.
Yeah, let's do it, man. I'm psyched about it. I think, what's it called? Unbroken?
Oh, we can look it up here. I'm sure someone's answering it in the comments, but we're like.
I was literally just looking at this earlier this morning. This is how good my memory is.
Unstable.
Unstable. Thank you. Unstable.
Well, that's hilarious.
It's really cool. You can put. They have these amazing cards where you can get 2 cards and put them together, and the image actually bleeds from one to the other because it's like a plug, and so you can have like a camel with the head of a mockingbird or something, and then like the text from one card bleeds into the other one.
That's really interesting.
It's amazing looking.
Here's what we need to do, though. We need to get it, and then not
open it.
Not open it till we play it. We'll play it live, then that way we're like surprised, but like, what? That's crazy.
I'm game, man. Absolutely.
Because I haven't seen anything for this set. Man, the last one they did was like 20 years ago almost.
Oh no, it hasn't been that long, but it's been a long time.
I bought it when Melody was a baby. It couldn't have. She's 17.
That might have been the first set.
Was there one in between? Maybe there was one that came out when I was in Korea.
This is 3.
I got Unglued. I know that's the one I got.
Maybe Unglued was first, then Unhinged. And this new one on, what was it? On something.
Stop it. We just looked it up.
Unstable, yeah. It looks great. I was reading about it just today. Yeah, let's do that. That sounds fantastic.
Do either of you play competitive games? I think what you mean by that is not competitive board games, but like competitive outside, like baseball,
Like
softball,
actually competing,
or sports or something.
No.
No, I would. That would bother me way too much. Will you ever make a top 10 solitaire list? Didn't you make one?
I thought I did.
Yeah, I thought you did too. Look it up. I think you did make one.
I might update
Tom, what
it.
would you do if Z cut your hair while you were sleeping? I would first of all think A.
Why is he in my house?
Yes, exactly.
In the middle of the night, I assume.
Although you could pull it off like on a car trip.
That's true. Actually, if we're driving anywhere, I could easily shave his head because he falls asleep almost immediately if we're in the car. He barely sleeps. That's the other thing. He burns through energy like an insane person. But if we're in a car and he's not getting that stimuli, he's out. He's falling asleep in the middle of conversations.
All right. Can we get a hint at something that might be part of the Kickstarter? Yeah, there would be some custom dice towers. I know it's not what you want to hear, but I'm still frantically working on this stuff. There's still a lot to get together.
Yeah, it'll be very soon.
Yeah, it's scheduled to launch next Thursday, as long as everything goes according to plan. But it could be off a day or two.
What day of the week is that? What date is that?
Well, if the 1st is Monday, that would make it the 4th then.
That's what I thought it was, but I wanted to double check. Yeah, Thursday. So yeah, that's what we're shooting for. Put it on your calendar, everybody. Again, this is, unless something goes awry, Thursday the 4th.
Well, I do a top 10 comics I love. That'd be an interesting one because you guys wouldn't really want to do that probably.
No,
but I
wouldn't
could like
have
do
enough.
my 10 favorite comics series and why I like them, or comic. You know, that might
Like
be something I could
story
do.
arcs, maybe.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
That'd be cool.
There's a lot of story arcs I like.
You still doing Marvel Unlimited?
I am. I do it kind of in spurts now. Like I'll go and I'll be like, oh yeah, I've done Marvel Unlimited for a while. Then I'll read it for 3 hours.
Yeah.
And some of the storylines, I'll start one and I'll be like, oh, this is really good. But I gotta wait. I'll start reading them right as they come out, Marvel Unlimited. It's better to go
you're
back.
caught up, right?
When I find out about an older one I haven't read yet, I'm like, oh, great. Or sometimes I'll see, that's issue 17. I'll read it. I'm like, that's pretty good. Yes. I can go back and read 17 issues of it now.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I stopped signing up for it. I might again at some point, but I wasn't reading enough to make it worthwhile.
What will you be doing for New Year's celebrations? Same thing I always do. Shoot off enough fireworks to blow Homestead off the map. It's not that much.
He's close.
And might play some games and then some food, which I do need to get around to ordering the food. Top best games that look ugly. That's a really good question. I can make a list on that one for sure.
Have we done that as a top 10 a long time ago?
It was something that was like...
Top 10 great games that look bad or something like that?
It wasn't that they looked bad. It was something like they were...
Bad covers on good games? I mean...
I don't remember what it was called.
I've done that. This is the problem with having done so many top 10s and my bad memory. On top of that, I don't remember.
When one person does a review that is negative, is there a consensus among everyone else? No.
Not necessarily, no, because we cannot all play every game. It's just not possible. But we do give every game, I think, as much of a fair chance at success, for lack of a better term, as possible. I'm not going to take a game from Sam or Tom. If they're excited to play it, and I'm kind of excited to play, I wouldn't take that and review it.
Yeah, but it works this way too. Let's say all of us play a game.
Yes.
And everyone hates it except for one person.
Yes.
The one person who doesn't hate it is going to be the one to review it.
Correct.
Almost always.
Yes, that's
or
what
if like
I'm
three
saying.
people like it and one person doesn't, we're not giving it to the person who doesn't. Because it's not that much fun to review a negative game anyway.
No.
I mean, I have a little bit of fun
And again,
sometimes,
that's what I'm saying. We give every game the best as much as possible because we can't. You know, if I play a game and I dislike that game, we just don't have the time for me to go and say, okay, here, Sam, this is now on your to-play list, which is already filled with your work. You got to play this now too, and here, Tom, you got to play this now too. Especially if I don't have a lot of faith that they're going to like it. So we just can't do that.
And sometimes we're wrong. Sometimes I'll say,
yeah,
man, you're really going to like this game, and then they don't. And I'm like, man, you just can't read other people. Exactly.
in any case, at the end of the day, if at least I try to make sure in my reviews that whether I like the game or not, you are getting enough information to figure out if you think you're going to like that game or not, you know.
Let's see. Will I be playing a Vermling Mind Thief? No, I'm playing a Sorcerer, and I'm playing a... What class did I take? Oh, I took like some... Tiefling? I don't know. I'm like some guy who was like fire for hair or something.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know either. We've not played the New Time Stories. That falls in the category of things we just haven't got around to doing yet. We have it.
Yeah, I'm excited for it, but not yet.
Are there good Christmas-themed games? Not many, that's for sure.
What's that Christmas tree game you've been going on about?
Oh, Christmas Tree. Well, it's called Christmas Tree.
I know.
We just got a Santa's Workshop from Rio Grande, which might be good, does not look good. There's a couple 12 Days of Christmas games, one from Calliope and one from Eagle Griffin. I want to say Eagle Griffin is the better one, but I might be wrong.
They're like both trick-taking or ladder
climbing. Yeah, but one
games.
is one I liked and one I did not, but I can't remember which one is which.
Well, you reviewed them, I assume, so go find those. There's not a ton, though, yeah.
Everyone's desperate for Fallout, then let it go. Is there only interest in new games for the 2 weeks after release? What's the drop-off? Well, first of all, I don't know why you're saying everyone let it go. It's still pretty popular. I bet if I pull up Board Game Geek right now, it's probably in the hot games. And even that's not necessarily a good indicator of what's going on. No, Gloomhaven's the hotness. Yeah, there it is. It's in the top 10 or so of the hot games.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's going to stay popular, if only for a while. I mean, for example, a game that I think is really bad was that Bloodborne game. Not Bloodborne, the Dark Souls.
That's me who thought that game was
Dark Souls. I thought it was a really bad game, and I know that game is selling like gangbusters. Why? Because the video game audience is humongous, and they are buying it. So Fallout's going to do well, period.
Yeah.
Because Dark Souls might be big, but I think Fallout's bigger.
I don't know.
Either that or we're just older, and that's the one where you're...
Right. But I assume there are more people there because they've had more time to build up that audience.
Do you ever find people become a bit starstruck when they meet you at conventions?
What was the question?
Do we ever find that people are a bit starstruck when they meet us at conventions?
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes, and I always feel bad for them because they shouldn't be. Like, I'll meet someone sometimes and they're shaking, and we're just like, I don't know what to say. Like, you want to just slap myself, like, look, it hurts. I'm a more, to make them feel at ease. Like I'm just an ordinary human.
I just put them at ease as best as I can. But yeah, it happens.
Who have you met in your life where you were like nervous to meet them? Have you ever met someone like that?
I assume I have, but I can't remember anybody specifically.
Yeah, there's very few times I've had butterflies. I mean, if it was like, oh, you're going to meet a famous person, I don't know that I would get like all, like, I don't know what to say to that person.
I remember one. I met an artist, a visual artist, who I was a big fan of their artwork, and then I met them at a convention somewhere. And I was a little bit like, oh, this is kind of a little... But again, and I did feel nervous talking to him. I got something signed or something. And so I get it. I get what that's like from the other side, which is why I go out of my way to make people feel at ease. I want people to feel at ease anyway. And I don't think you have any reason.
We don't get any kind of like, woohoo, those people were nervous.
I don't think you have any reason to be nervous for one thing or to be starstruck.
Not with us. So not with us.
Yeah, right. But I do try to make sure that everybody is very just relaxed. Just come up and say hi, and it's not a big deal. You know what I mean? I don't think that's a problem. I do think it's a little funny how some people are very familiar sometimes with us because they know us from the internet. And there's a fine line there, okay? And by that I mean I am perfectly casual about you coming up and saying, hey, how you doing, Z? Oh my God, it's nice to meet you. You're great, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. But like assuming you know me, there's a fine line there.
It's weird sometimes. Someone comes up and they talk, and I'm like, I must have met this person before. Where did I meet them before? And at the end, I find out I never did. But I mean, that's my fault because we try to be so personable here on the channel. You feel like you know us.
I guess so, but I mean, I also would not be so familiar with someone just because they're approachable.
What he's saying is he wants you to bring him the most personal gifts you can.
That's not even it. I don't care. But
here's some underwear I bought you.
Oh, thank you.
I knew your size, and that's when you're like,
I got to talk to Tom about what he's putting up online.
I was nervous talking to my father-in-law for the first time.
Yeah, okay. I can see that.
I guess. All right. Is Jason dancing good or bad? You know, as much fun as we make of Jason, I was there when that happened. What'd they do? They played some sort of song?
Yeah, something was playing and he was dancing.
And he stood up and danced, and he tried to get everyone into it, and nobody stood up, and he did not quit.
He's shameless, which is good. And I mean that like
in that case,
shameless.
it was good, right? He was like, I'm going to do it. And I should have stood up, too, but I was eating my dessert.
Dessert comes first. I'm sorry.
Oh, let's see. Tom, you will love Unstable. There's a card that turns the game into Robo Rally. What's Unstable? Oh!
Come on, man.
Man, we're real.
Wow.
You can tell we're old here.
Are we tired or are we getting older?
There's a game that turns Magic into Robo Rally?
One card in there that turns. I know one of the cards makes you play Hangman.
Dude, we're getting this game. We're getting this expansion. I'm buying a whole box of it, dude.
I'm in, man. Let me split it with you.
All right. You ever see alternative to the Cosmic Eons Alliance dials? I customized one and would share it with you if interested. I would probably like to get ones. I think the dials are a cool idea, even though, oddly enough, I play with them only half the time.
Oh, I know.
Right,
what
you say if you're helping the attacker, but you know what? As much as I like that and it's fun, first of all, the dials are too small. Bigger dials would be better.
Yeah.
But still, sometimes it's fun just to go around the table and declare who you're helping, you know, rather than doing it all at the same time. Because here you've revealed it, and it just when you go around the table one at a time, there's something more like, I declare my support for Z, or whatever.
I guess so. So you don't use them all the time, is what you're saying?
I'd say about half the time.
Yeah. I still don't have that expansion, actually.
Will we be able to contribute to
missing.
Kickstarter with Bitcoin? I don't know that Kickstarter takes Bitcoin.
Yeah, I don't think so.
You can contribute to us with Bitcoin. I was telling Z this, someone sent me some Bitcoin way back in the day, and I never did anything about it.
Long time ago.
Yeah. I don't, and I was like, oh, maybe I should go back and look at that. And whatever the link was that they sent, it didn't work anymore. Nothing worked anymore, so I was like, oh, well. I'm assuming it was nothing.
Yeah, probably not.
We have to assume it was nothing, or else we'll get all depressed.
I was reading about Bitcoin and how, unless I'm mistaken here, I just glanced at it, you can't really redeem it for money, like that encrypted, Bitcoin currency.
Well, you can sell it to someone else.
Yeah, you cannot actually like cash them in for money anywhere,
no,
right?
It's kind of like stock. I don't really understand it that much.
How that works.
Oh, someone said Unhinged was the last set in 2004. That's 13 years ago, though. That's a pretty long time.
20.
Okay, I'm not arguing.
Unglued.
Unglued's the one I played
20
then.
years ago.
But still, 13 years is a long time.
Yeah. Well, I was reading an article by Mark Rosewater who talked about how the sets out of the gate do really, really well, but both times before they've had to destroy product because their sales just stop. And they come out really strong.
Yeah, I
and
can
then
see
they just
that.
completely drop off. And both times they had to destroy product that they were sitting on. So I guess they're tackling that this time, printing less. I don't know what else they're doing, but that's one of the
things. They're getting
really
really smart about how much they print in Magic these days.
It's a massive machine.
Isathel says, Z, did you get to play Sidereal Confluence?
Sidereal Confluence, no. I have not played
I'm interested in how you would do it, a freewheeling negotiation game that isn't Genoa. You don't like Genoa, right?
I hate Genoa.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't ask Z to play because I didn't think he would like it, because the one thing about it, the whole change this to this, change this to this, change this to this, you hate that normally.
Yeah.
Especially when there's no meaning behind it.
Yeah, right. I don't know. I might try it. It really looks uninspiring.
The Zai expansion is not on my list because I have not played it yet, although the chance of me playing that one soon is moving up there, me and Melody. The Lorenzo El Magnifico was not on my expansion list either, and it would have been had I made the list after I played it.
Yeah.
All right, there's a few more questions. I'm trying to zoom through these and look for ones that have kind of a... Have you been watching the TV show Gifted, set in the X-Men universe? How many shows are set in the Marvel universe these days? There's a lot. Is that the mutants one? Like the kid one? It looked a little too
The creepy one? The creepy one?
The creepy one didn't appeal to me. I'm not a big horror fan. Right?
There's like one, what is that one called? New Mutants. That's the one I'm thinking of. That's creepy. The trailer was creepy.
Yeah, I don't really care about that, right?
Gifted? No, I don't know what that is. Yeah, they have a bunch of these X-Men spin-off things. Legion? That's an X-Men, right? I mean...
Right.
I don't know.
Are you considering doing something with the data from the People's Choice Top 100? I don't think so. I'm not sure. I am planning at some point to go through the Board Game Geek Top 100 and give my opinions on it. I might do a series on that, like going through 100 to 1 and then saying, this is what I think about these games in particular. I went over the list, and I think there's maybe 3 I haven't played.
Wow.
So I feel okay doing that.
Wow. That's amazing. Okay, that's good.
Basic lands and unstable are extremely valuable, so be sure to price check them. All right, whatever.
I'm calling all those.
You call the lands? I'd be like, what? I don't want these lands. You can have the lands. He's like, off to eBay.
Off to eBay, yeah, right. I don't think I've never sold something on eBay.
Valentine's Day is coming up. How about a top 10 games for couples? I have to say, Valentine's Day is like, I don't want to say it's my least favorite holiday, but it just seems like this.
So Valentine's Day, President's Day.
I like President's Day, though, because we're honoring presidents who have done well. Valentine's Day is like this.
Day, that one Friday where you just sit around in your socks.
Valentine's
You know the one.
Valentine's Day is kind of like, go be romantic because we said so. It's not because it's your birthday or because it's your anniversary or whatever. Like Mother's Day is a day to honor mothers.
Yeah.
And mothers should be honored. Father's Day is a day to honor fathers. Fathers should be honored. But a day to just, I don't know. The way Korea did it, I liked it. They had February 14th was Valentine's Day, and the girls did something nice for the guy. They bought it. It was just girls only. And then March 14th was White Day. I don't know why it was called White Day, but the guys did something for the girls.
Okay.
April 14th was Black Day. Black because there's this black bean paste that they mix with noodles, and anyone who didn't get anything on the other 2 days, they all go out together and eat and commiserate.
No way.
Yes, I'm serious.
Oh man, that's amazing.
No, it wasn't amazing because here's what happened. February 14th comes by, and some people are like, what'd you get your wife? And I'd be like, well, I don't get her anything until March 14th. And they're like, no, the Americans, they're like, you need to get your wife something. All right, fine. March 14th comes by, and the Koreans are like, what'd you get your wife?
Hey, you got to do it again.
Wait a minute. I feel like I've been tricked here.
2 times. And then when the other one comes around, people are like, come on and eat with us. You're like, no, I got 2 gifts. You're like, come on. Come on. Eat this black paste.
I'm not actually sure why it was called like White Day. I know the black one was because of the black bean paste noodles. It's called jjajangmyeon. It's actually pretty good. It's like a comfort food type thing. I don't know.
Cool. I agree with you mostly.
Why are we oh, someone said, how about doing a top 10 game for couples? Maybe. We've done 2-player games. I don't really see that a couple...
It's the same thing.
And a 2-player game is not... The only difference is... I can't think of any. Like
No. I mean, it's the same thing.
Like if you get really mad at each other, it might...
I mean, you have to just know whoever you're playing with. But you do that anyway if you're playing any 2-player game. Like, do they like confrontational games? Co-op games? Do they want something that's short, light, deep, involved, thematic? Yeah. You should find that out with anybody you're playing with.
Nick says, when can we expect a review of Drop Mix? Ha ha. Check the channel? I'm pretty sure it's up now. If it's not up, it's going up in like an hour or so.
Yeah.
We actually did review.
So soon.
Well, Z, you weren't in the review, so why don't you give your opinion of Drop Mix?
Oh, sure.
Because well, you didn't play the game even. You just came and saw the technology.
I played with you. We played right there.
Oh, that real quick thing. Yeah. Right.
Well, Tom showed it to me how it worked and all that, and then we played the
confrontational one.
2 different versions actually.
Oh, we played the party one too. That's right.
Yeah, we played where we play against each other, and then sort of like a speed game using these cards. I liked that a lot. I thought it was it's a great contraption. It's fun. It's engaging. It's well made. Whatever technology they're using, the field RF, whatever that's called, UR or something.
Yeah, it works pretty well. We were testing the number of cards. That whole
thing, yeah, you can stack a bunch of cards and it still reads them. The contraption's great. The machine is expensive because I'm assuming it's difficult to make, or there's a lot of technology that went into it. And then the card packs, you were telling me, are pretty pricey, right?
Yeah, they're really pricey.
So-
the whole thing's expensive.
It's expensive. Is it fun? Yeah, I kind of dig it, but the music's really not for me. Most of what I played is not even something I know. I think for young people who are into the music, who are into playing lighter games like Uno type fare, I think it's great. But it has to be like a Christmas type gift because it's a big deal, you know.
Well, my
I liked
kids
it.
came by last night after the Christmas celebration at night, and they borrowed it and went to play it again. The kids just love it. They'll just mess with it. They don't even play the game. They just sit there and try to make drop mixes, you know.
And that's cool. It works well. I'd love to hear more music in it that I recognize.
Alrighty. What is it though? Then says, I actually love your negative
NFC,
reviews.
NFC, that's what I was thinking of.
What's NFC?
That's that field reader thing that works with the cards.
All right. Will we get reviews for the drop mix expansion separately? No. What am I going to be like? This music, though. Let's listen.
Could you imagine? Oh, my goodness. And then just switch 2 cards. Well, how does that change it?
All right, folks. We need to get going here because I got to work on that Kickstarter.
And I got to work on editing. That's all I'll say.
Oh, well, we can say we have a top 10 list coming
Top
up this
10,
week.
okay, fine.
Our top 10 gaming experiences of 2017.
I'm editing that, and I got to shoot some reviews.
All righty. Well, until next time, though, I'm Tom Vasel.
I'm Z. Thanks for joining us, everybody. You've been watching The Dice Tower.